woman had two children, a boy and a girl. They both had some mental health issues. When the girl got older, she met this guy who loved her, but her mental health issues always got in the way of their relationship, because one time she would be okay, the next time she would want to kill him. It was so bad, but he loved her and he decided to help. So he took her to some prophet for prayers to find out that why does she have this issue, plus her younger brother, and the mom has just the two of them, and they both suffer like the same kind of mental health issue. Like sometimes they'll be fine and the next time they will not be, like just suddenly they could just flare up. They were not on any substances and they were okay medically, so he could not understand it. So after intensive prayers, the prophet told the girl to go and ask her dad who he offended when he was in school. So she went to her dad to ask, and he obviously could not remember. It's been a long time ago. They were grown up. And eventually the man remembered that when he was in uni, he was dating this girl who he promised to marry. And afterwards he jilted her and said no, he can't marry her. And she had put in a lot into that relationship, even finance-wise. She helped the man when he was in uni and everything. So when he caught up with her, she cursed him that any child he's going to have in future is going to have mental health issues. But he just laughed it off, you know, she's a woman scorned. But then this is what happened. So they had to pray seriously to break that curse upon the life of these children. Now their mom did not snatch that man away from that girl. They had split up ages before they even came across each other and got married and had children, but that curse was still there. So you need to take these things seriously. Do not intentionally, purposely defraud or harm anybody, because if they place a curse on you, it may not affect you, but it could affect your children. That curse did affect that man's children because that was the curse the girl placed. There was another instance of a pregnant woman. She was in dire straits. She needed financial help. She went to this man to help her, begged and pleaded that she needed to feed her other children. She had nothing in the house. And the man gave her some money, but he said he needed to sleep with her. And she said, can't you see that I am pregnant? I'm 6 months. It's quite obvious. Why do you want to sleep with me? And he said, that's the only way I'm going to give you this money. If you don't sleep with me, I won't give you the money. So she was desperate. She slept with him. Afterwards, she placed a curse on him and said that he will never be able to sleep with any woman except she's pregnant. That means he will not be able to have his own child. He laughed. He snatched that money back from her. He threw her out of the house. She left crying. And then later, anytime he sees a young girl, he won't be able to get an erection to sleep with her. Anytime he meets a woman, he won't be able to sleep with her. People thought he was impotent. And he continued like that. But whenever he sees a pregnant woman, he'll be able to get an erection, but she's pregnant. That's somebody else's baby. So one time he met an ex-girlfriend, and they went to the club together, had a meal, had a drink, and they went home together. And he decided to try his luck, and he was able to sleep with her. And he went, haha, that woman's curse didn't work. And then when she was leaving, out of curiosity, he asked her and said, are you pregnant? And she said, yeah, how did you know? I'm only about 6 weeks. Nobody knows. I only found out yesterday. And that's when it dawned on the man that, yeah, the curse of that woman was working on him. He will never be able to have his own child because he can only sleep with an already pregnant woman. See, what he did was really bad. He just did that because she was desperate, she was vulnerable, and he capitulated on that, and she cursed him. So do not say that curses do not work. So if you're an internet fraudster, all these online scammers, and you are defrauding people of their hard-earned cash, if they curse you, it will happen. Some of them live off the proceeds of these ill-gotten gains, and you'll see them just flaunting the money, throwing it around. But eventually they do get arrested. There was one recently with all the money, all the cash, people praying to be like them, people's moms praying that their children should be like that guy. He was arrested. He's now in jail. Everything confiscated. They will get their comeuppance. Esoake, they will get their comeuppance, no matter how long it will be. You know, so you do need to be careful. There was a case of a man who, he and his girlfriend, they lived together in Africa, and the girl went to her dad and begged him to sponsor both of them to go to leave Nigeria and come to Europe. The dad didn't want to sponsor that boyfriend. He only wanted to sponsor his daughter. But the girl begged and begged and said, Dad, he's the love of my life. We're going to come here together. We're going to get married. We're going to build our future. She begged and begged and begged. And eventually the man decided to sponsor them both. Got them passports, got them visas, and give them money, everything. And they came here to the UK. Immediately they got to the airport and they cleared immigration. The guy just told her, sorry, bye, I'm gone. And he left her right there at the airport. He left her. You know, she was in beat, she was in floods. She called her dad. The dad said, I warned you about this guy. But she remained here, and eventually she met somebody else. She got married. That guy's life, he said it was like 20 years plus later. He met the girl, and he went on his knees in the middle of the central London, begging her for what he did, that his life has not been the same. And she said, no, it's fine. I'm married and I've got children. And he said, no, he will not let her go until she says she has forgiven him. Because of what he did, she placed a curse on him. He thought he went scot-free. Yeah, I'm in London. I only used that to come here. But you see what happened to him. So you need to be careful. There are some people that you cannot offend. There are some people that you cannot cheat. If you do that and they place a curse on you, it will come pass. The Bible says a curse causeless shall not come. So you do need to be careful about these curses. Don't say that, oh, it doesn't happen. It's just in all these Nollywood films that curses. A curse is real. Joshua cursed that whoever is going to rebuild Jericho, he will do so. He will lay the foundation at the cost of his firstborn's life, and he will set up the gates at the cost of his lastborn. And many years later, a man decided to rebuild Jericho. And yeah, it did happen. The curse happened. He laid the foundation at the cost of his firstborn's life, and he set the gates at the cost of his youngest life, according to the curse that Joshua placed when Jericho fell down. So curses are real. So don't think that they are not real. They are definitely real. There was a case where a woman and her daughter, they were at the river, just having a nice day. The woman bathing, the little girl singing, and these boys decided to go there and just ruin their day. They raped the woman, and when they were going, they killed the little girl for fun. They were young, they were teenagers, and they laughed about it. And the woman placed the curse on them that they will never have a baby girl live beyond that age of her daughter that they killed. They laughed, said it's mumbo jumbo, and then they killed the woman. And they left. They grew up, they had got married, had their own families. But in that town, anytime a child reaches the age of that little girl, which was about 3, the girl would die. Everybody in the town, once they have a baby girl and she reaches that age, the child will die. And it kept on like that. So people were seeing this pattern and wondering what was going on. So somebody decided to trace the history, was looking through records and saw that, okay, there was this woman killed and her 3-year-old daughter. And then these boys who were now men, they all came forward and they confessed. And they said, this is what she said, but they laughed. They thought it was just mumbo jumbo. It was just voodoo. It was nonsense. You know, so I don't know how they managed to break that curse in that town, but it did happen. So do not defraud anybody. You are now having the time of your life. You're doing whatever you want. When people curse, you just laugh and say, ha 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 ha, nothing's going to happen to me. Well, I'm sorry, it will. It will. You know, do not toy on people's emotions. There are some men now, they know that the woman they are with, they are not going to marry her. But because they need her right now to use her, either maybe they're using her for sex, or they're using her for money, or they don't have somewhere to live, so they're using her just to stay in her place, and she thinks they're going to get married, but he knows, he already has his agenda. It's not that they fell out. People fall out and the relationship cannot work. That is different. That no, I cannot marry you because we're always rowing, we don't see eye to eye, we don't agree with the same things, we're not compatible. That is different. But you purposely went into it just to use her. If she curses you, it will catch you. The same thing with women. There are some women, they know this man who is sponsoring them, doing everything. They cannot marry him. He's beneath them. They don't like him. They don't like his dressing. They don't like the way he talks. They know. But they are collecting his money. He's sponsoring them in uni, in school, whatever. He's the one paying everything. He's even giving money to their siblings. But they know this guy, I can't marry him. If he curses you, it will happen. Curses are real. Remember, the Bible says, a curse causeless shall not come. So we need to beware. We need to know how we behave, how we treat people. Be plain, be clear right from the onset. And say, okay, sorry, I cannot marry you. We'll be friends. I cannot marry you. Don't deceive somebody. You know, some people's hearts, when it's broken, you know, don't deceive people and don't defraud people. Don't think that you got away with it. Or now I'm living life, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. When the curse starts, maybe that time you would have forgotten. There are some people, what they did is when they were young. They were young then. They didn't know any better. But when it happened to them, they are now older. Maybe they were going into some politics, you know, into some big position, CEO, something, and then that curse will now rear its head. You see, you got away with it when you were young. You thought you got away with it forever, but it waited for you, and then it's that time now you are suffering it when you should be enjoying your life. It's now too late. So guys, I thought I should just say this because a lot of young people watch my videos. We need to be careful. We shouldn't treat people anyhow. If they curse in their anguish, it will happen to you. It will catch you. So don't wave it off and say it's nonsense. It's mumbo jumbo. It's not. God bless you.